All right, excellent. So I'm going to go into the documents section of the website. And this is something we've built for the website. And it has these different categories. So financial risk assessments, documents, asset risk assessment, annual reports, accounts, all those things where you have to publish those documents. So if I may, I'm just going to go and take one of your annual accounts, for example, copy that. And I'm going to add a new document now. So I'm in the document section. I'm going to add new.
Well, those documents are already in.
Okay.
Yeah, they're already there. I just copied them.
So if they're already in,
I opened up the individual documents, copied the URL to create my own little list.
oh, fab. Okay, excellent. So where are they on the page then? Let's have a look.
So annual, what's that first one? Annual accounts 2020. Yeah.
Is it under accounts? Could be under accounts.
There when you
yeah, there we go. There we go. So we've got an accounts page, and they're listed in the document table, and we've got the option to sort by year as well, so financial year.
Yeah.
And that's where they're showing there. So.
And the clerk thought it was a little bit too in depth. He couldn't find how to get to it. I mean, I think it's quite a logical place to go and do it, but anyway, so
yeah,
it doesn't harm to have it in more than one. You know?
No, absolutely, no, absolutely. So I'm glad that they've been put in here as well, because that's obviously what we had in mind. But the fact that you've added another page, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. Mm-hmm. That's fine. What we are doing, we've got a new version of our software that we're still working on at the moment. And by default, you're usually always going to get onto this page and not see anything. Because
so when you click on the 2019-2020, if you just click on that one for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So how could I get to that page? Because if we look at the URL, it just says accounts, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It's not actually drilling down to that level.
That's right. So it's only one. It's all in one page, and the URL at the top of the page is the page. So there's no way that I can say go to that.
It wasn't something I missed. You know, just to get that page to list those documents out, then my attempt obviously was okay, and that's
absolutely is. Yeah,
not
absolutely.
necessarily the graphic layout, but
there's nothing wrong with that. The idea is though that our new version, our new software version, it will allow us to go back a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever we want to show when we get onto the page first off. So when we land on this page now, we're seeing the current 2021 financial year, which is fine, but you're never really going to see anything, I don't think, for the current financial year. You only see it a year later.
Yes, because you're not going to upload anything until after.
Exactly that. So we've built it in now where we can say, actually, let's go back 1 year when we load the page.
And that's the default page.
Yeah, so I can do that for you. I'll get that uploaded, add that on, go back a year, and then when we go to this page now, you'll see 2020. That could work, couldn't it?
Yeah. So what are you saying? Is that something, an update you've done?
No, it's an update that we're working on at the moment. Okay. We've still got, we take on as many requests as we can from different councils, and we try and build them into our software. And it's based on a few people saying exactly what we've just said. Well, it's not very good actually that you're not showing the previous year or having an option to do that.
Okay.
So we say, well, okay.
So my little text box and the button on the sidebar on the home page with your update can just, rather than go to my page, can just take you to this page.
Yes, it could do.
Yeah. That's really all we would want. The clerk's view was that. And I'm sure that we work with the only parish council, but we had funding to get a laptop to be able to create the website, to be able to make available these statutory documents to the public. So he's saying that, really that's got to be an easy and a sort of a priority thing, really, that people can see these statutory documents easily.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And we can rename it as well in the menu. Maybe accounts isn't the right terminology. Maybe we could say statutory documents would be the right page title for this page. It's up to you. I think accounts is quite fine, but maybe not. Maybe not. So yeah, totally whatever you would like to do with that, Steve. But yeah, I'll leave that there for now with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is it yourself then that was adding all these documents in there, or is this Denise? Something?
No. Denise tends to upload the agenda, the minutes, the accounts, because this is one question that I have on my notes, and that is historically the clerk put all the documents up onto the website. But he was managing that particular website, and Denise and I, we've taken ownership of this. So the clerk sends the information to Denise, and Denise puts them up. So she puts them into, and I'm assuming she puts them into here.
So this is documents, yeah. So all these documents here, agendas.
Yeah, well, she must have, because they're there, 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't done that. And I think she's doing the same with the agendas and minutes in the agendas and minutes section. So that's all good. That looks great. But if you wanted to have a quick look at how it works.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
We log in to we add new. We put our document title in there. So it could be AGAR 2022, however you want to phrase anything, put your title there. You choose your category. Different categories can have different numbers of documents in them per page. But with documents, actually, it only makes sense actually if it's one document. So, the different categories are displayed in different areas. Those are the document tables that you've got on different areas of the website, and you can display them differently. So you can have your financial year or calendar year or civic year. You can hide the date, or you can show different sections of that document table. There's loads of different options for different categories. We can set them all up as well per category, which is why you have the options, obviously, to select. So accounts, you choose your category for accounts, and then you have your document upload box. Shows up below that. And you choose your file. So I'm going to choose my test document. Open that. Now, by default, in the document table, it will say download next to it, which you can see here, this text here, download.
Okay.
But you can change that. So you could download draft, you could say, you give it a title, whatever you wanted to do with that. You can make it a little bit different by filling in that text box there. So change default download link text. Below that, you can add text in place of a document if there's no document to upload. So it creates a slot in that table for you, and it will just fill that table cell with text that you can put in there, in that box there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't have any text, but you want to create a link in that document table, you can put in a link URL and the clickable text for the link in that box next to it.
Okay.
So it's hopefully that covers everything that you would ever need to do with a document table. That puts everything in there.
Now I've missed something somewhere. We're creating something to go into the accounts category, but I haven't seen, how do we know what the year period is going into?
Absolutely, we haven't got to that yet.
All right. Sorry.
That's a very good question. What year period would it go into? That's based over here on this published date. So you choose a date within that financial year. So if it's today, I should be in the year, of course, financial year 2021. And if I put it in accounts and I give it a title, test document, and I publish that, I'd expect it, based on everything we've done, to be on the accounts page under the year 2021. And there it is.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
And that's how that goes in there. You can, of course, you change your year. Let's go back 2019. And if I go to 2019, shows it there.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Okay. And takes it out of the current year. So it's full control over these things. And it's quite good if, for us, when we're building it, we change the date of when we've published it, and it goes straight into that financial year.
What controls that order of those documents?
It is the date. It's in date order.
Is it right? Okay.
Date it was uploaded. So or published date. So what I mean by that is if we don't put a published date in there, if I take that out and I update, I think it uses today's date. which it does.
Oh,
It fills
okay.
in today's date. And then, of course, if you're using today's date for all of them, it's either a timestamp within today's date. So I've just done that one at 3 o'clock. The next one might be 3:01, and it would order it based on that.
All right. Okay. So if you were uploading the, all the statutory documents for the last financial year, you could put them on and just stagger them by one day into the new financial year, and that would allow you to then sort them in the right order. But
that's right.
I don't know.
But saying that as well, it's a very good point. That seems a bit cumbersome. So that seems a bit of a funny way to do it. What we've done in our newer version as well, we've allowed the option to sort by title. So you would sort by alphabetical, A to Z, either ascending or descending. You can choose your format, so it should accommodate any display that you want to do.
Right. Okay.
So totally,
somebody might always want to have accounts, which just happens to be A, at the top.
yeah.
But they might want the chairman's report at the top.
Oh, this is very true. This is very true. So you can, if you want to do it all based on date, that's possible as well.
Okay. Yeah. So there's some flexibility within that. I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's in essence how you do that. And if I wanted to move it out of accounts, I wanted to put it in annual reports, you just choose a different category and it'll go straight into that document table for annual reports now. In fact, I don't know where that is on the website, but let's have a look. Oh, it's here, isn't it? So 2019, 2020, or 2021, it was today's date. Yeah, test document. There we go. So you can very quickly choose different categories, move it all around, and things happen behind the scenes, puts it in the right category for you, puts it in the table, and away you go.
Okay, so all those variations now, just go back to the main screen for me.
This strategic documents page.
Yeah. So, and just go right to the top so we can see the menu taskbar. So we've got this under the council, haven't we? And then we have in our menu option, and then we've got a menu heading which is accounts. So is that always those things that we've all looked at? Then are they all? How are they linked to that menu option?
That's a very good point. Very good question. So if I edit that page now, so this is just a page. In the page, we've brought in those different document categories. So from our builder, our layout builder, we drag down a document.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's what that is. And then you choose your category that you want to display.
So they're just text blocks. Are they? I see. They're the document block. And then you just stack one above the other and then put the actual
title.
Yeah.
Above that. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And then, so where just show me one with the link then. So where then, so that first block, annual reports, no, just go back down.
Yeah.
Reports, we've added that in, document category. And then how do you select the specific document from your documents?
So
there'll be multiple annual reports, won't they, in that document folder?
Yes. So in the documents, this is displaying the document category called annual reports. So it's just displaying everything that's in that category, annual reports. That category is over here in the document section.
Yeah.
Under annual reports. Here. And these are all the annual reports we've put in there. The settings then for annual reports, the different years that are there. Yeah. We've set up the different years underneath this may be the missing link, is underneath the document settings. So under settings and then documents. Then we've got our different categories which are in here, and this is the setup behind the scenes. So this is where we've got our archive start year, for example. We started at 2019 because we knew that that's when we wanted to start displaying documents. No point up putting on there 2009 because we just have a lot of blank years, if you know what I mean. And that's how that's controlled. So we choose a starting point, and then we just start uploading the documents. Right,
I'm not quite with it. If we go back to you've created all your options on the just go back to the where am I going? Oh, back to the actual tab down menu.
This one, strategic
No,
page.
no, from the main screen. Right, okay, so council, right, and we go to annual reports, okay.
Yeah.
Annual reports, okay. And then we've got those 3 blocks there, 20, 21, 19, 20. So what you're saying is you've set those 3 up. So who do we as the council, do we then set up 21, 22, for example?
You don't need to, no, because we've put in a start date and it would automatically add on years from that start date. So like I did just put in there 2009, it added all the years up to present day. So we've just given it a start date.
Right,
So
okay.
when the 31st of December comes around, next day you'll see in there 21, 2022.
Oh, okay, right. So that'll be done automatically. So if we go to 2021 at the moment, there's nothing in it, right?
Other than our test document, yeah.
So is it purely then on that date that we set? When you created that test document, you put that date in?
Yes, because
right. So that
as I said, today, the 8th of June, is within the financial year 2020, 2021.
Yeah, okay.
So it's going to display in that table because I put it in that category.
Now,
but if I change the date and I wanted to go back to last financial year, I'd just change that published date.
Right, okay. Yeah. I think I've got that. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So when we come round for the next financial year, all we were doing is going from, if we just go back to our WordPress menu options for me.
This one?
Yeah. So we've now, so let's say it was me doing it and I've not done it before. So I'd now come in here in the next financial year and I'd go to documents and
add new.
So I'm adding new, aren't I? Right, okay. And then I'll have accounts, an annual report, won't I? There'll be certain things that I will do every year.
Yes.
So I'm adding them in on here. And the fact that I put them in here, so they'll be in the different buckets. So accounts, what was the other ones we had?
Accounts, annual reports, asset
yes, all those things. So I'd just go into, I'd create a record for each one of those. And then the fact that I'm putting in, so I'll be putting in, let's say, the 6th of April. I don't know whether we're operating on financial dates or calendar, but I think it's the financial. So it'll be the 6th of April, won't it, next year?
That's right.
Or whenever the accounts are adopted and approved, I would imagine. So that it won't be.
Well, yeah, because the actual date isn't shown, it's just really for your own ordering. So it goes into that year. Make sure it's well within that financial is all I do. If I wanted it to go in 2020, 2021, anytime now, I mean, 1st of June is fine. That's probably what I'd choose because it's easy on my mind. I don't have to think too hard about that.
Right.
So anytime within that financial year should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I've got that.
Okay. Fab. It's something the idea being we created this software so that there's no copying and pasting. There's no HTML that you need to worry about. There's no formatting that you need to worry about. You just you upload your document, choose your category, choose your date, and it goes into a document table for you. And it's quite nice and easy. I mean, if you try and do that with Elementor, for example, and you've had no experience of it, it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to do, which is one of the reasons why we've built something like this, to try and get around that. So same thing really as well, Steve, for the agendas and minutes, although we've only got one category there, so it's a little bit easier to do. Let me get rid of these dummy ones. But we'll add a new meeting. So this is, think of it maybe as new agendas and minutes. Well, it's a new meeting. And do you know when your next meeting is?
They're all suspended at this time.
Oh, of course they are. Yes, of course.
But it doesn't matter. Just pick one. Yeah, 1st of July.
Future meeting. Future Parish Council meeting. Excuse me. Right. So we have 2 boxes now. We have our agenda at the top. We have our minutes beneath that. Rarely are you ever going to do the agenda and the minutes at the same time. So we're going to do the agenda first. We'll come back in a couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know if there's any clerk that's that efficient that they can get them both done at the same time. But we'll do the agenda first, and then a couple of weeks' time, we'll come back to edit this meeting.
Well, I don't know whether it's just in our stated terms or whatever, but you have to publish the agenda some set number of days before the meeting to allow.
That's right. That's right.
Questions, so they would never be done on the same day. But
no, never. It would never happen. No. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's a legal requirement. There has to be 3 days before.
Okay. Yeah.
And meeting date. Let's choose tomorrow and publish. And what that does is exactly the same as the documents. It's based on the same principles, where we have our agendas and minutes table, we have our future parish council meeting, and we have it tomorrow that we've put in there. Down here on the right hand side, that area has been created for us as well. This future parish council meeting will be held on 9th of June 2020 at 7 p.m. This meeting will be a virtual meeting using Zoom. Now, Denise must have updated that, I think, because there is a override that we can do per meeting. So when we're setting up the meeting, we've got our agenda, we've got our minutes, we've got our meeting category, and there's only one. If there's only one category, it will default to that category. Meeting description. So I can put in here example meeting. Did I type anything? Oh, my keyboard stopped. Oh, right. So this is a meeting description. Please fill in a description if different from the default meeting description. For example, if this meeting is at a different location, are there any special reasons why this meeting has been called? And that text is what shows up over here on the right-hand side.
Okay, so that's something which is the theme does it? It takes the copy of this information, so it will take it from the agenda date. Is that what it's doing?
Absolutely. No, the meeting date.
A meeting date. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Yeah, meeting date and meeting time. Yeah. Meeting
time. So we can say, well, it's going to be at 8. No, let's be really silly and have 7 a.m. An update, and we'll see how that looks now. So let me get back to that page, reload the page. Over here on the right-hand side, we have example meeting, because that's the text I put in, and it will be at 7 a.m.
Okay.
Download the agenda for that meeting. Put that in there. Back under the settings, that's the default description that we've got in there. I think Denise has put that in. This will be a virtual meeting using Zoom. You can change that per meeting. So of course.
So do you think that Denise has been in and changed that there?
Oh yes, absolutely. I think so.
All right. What, without any guidance from you?
I think so. Yeah, I might have. She does email now and again. Unsure of a few things, and always happy to point in the right direction.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But that's hidden away under the settings and the agendas and minutes settings. So that's your default meeting description. So every future meeting will use that text.
Unless it's changed, yes.
Unless it's changed, yeah.
But then what you're saying is you can override it then on when you're adding a new document.
On a per meeting basis, yeah.
Yes, I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be that she's. Well, can you go back to the last one? I mean, if she's written it in here, I'm just wondering. Just out of interest, really, I wouldn't have thought that Denise would have been comfortable to go into the settings and find.
Yeah. No. I think that's what she's done.
Okay, but she could have just put it in there, couldn't she, when she created the meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. You could just create it there, and then leave the default, because at some point in the future we're going to have to change that default back.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
And that just goes straight into that agendas and minutes table, which is here again in the date order. So it puts it down there. Now, my advice for documents is to use PDFs for all of them, not Word documents.
Okay.
Reasons for that is Word's a paid software, really, and not everyone has it. Not everyone has access to that. So we're not being very transparent by doing that. But PDF is the universal document format. And if I open that up now, it opens in my browser. I don't have to download anything. Whereas if I download the agenda, it downloads a file, because it's a document, a Word document.
Mhm,
So it's not the best. And especially now with accessibility, it has to be a PDF, accessible PDF.
Okay, yeah, I can take that on board, right?
And accessible PDFs, they can be done in Word. They don't have to be anything special. You don't have
Oh
to
yeah, you just do a save as. Yeah, I understand.
So that's exactly what we're telling people to do. We're not accessibility experts, but we've had to be clued up quite quickly on what we do. It's a shame, really. It doesn't get me very excited, accessibility, but it's one of those things we've got to be very mindful of now. So there are a lot of tweaks as well we're going to be making to the website for you with regards to accessibility, because it will fail on a few things.
Can we come back to that one on accessibility? So just continuing on this agendas and minutes. So I can see what we've done so far. We've created a new meeting effectively. We put in our date and it automatically pulls it through to that next parish council meeting. We can overwrite the text if we want to. That's fine. And then the next phase would be, as it stands at the moment, would be Denise would go in and she'd upload the minutes to the meeting.
Correct.
Now, am I correct that I've seen somewhere that you can do this differently by emailing them in?
No.
No, you have to go in like this and upload them.
Yep.
Right.
I'd like that feature. I'd like to see if you can do that.
I thought there was something. The reason I'm saying that is the clerk, leaves everything to do with the website to either Denise or myself. But I thought there was an easy way for the clerk, once he's prepped his minutes, that he could just get them into the website by sending them as an attachment to an email. Because you can do things, can't you, with posts and emailing them in? I mean, I've not had an experience with it, but I've seen it when I've been setting up websites. In your general.
Yeah, I know what you. I think I know where you're coming from with that. That would be quite nice to do. I think it might be under writing.
And reading or writing, one of those.
Post via email. Post via WordPress, set up secret email account with pop-through.
I mean, it would have to be all done, and all it has would be an email address with a PDF document somehow to be able for it to come in and go into the right location.
Yeah, because there are quite a few variables with it as well, like the meeting time, meeting dates.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a bit tricky to implement that. But
okay.
As it stands, Steve, it's not something.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's nice. Nice idea for the future, though. I'll investigate that, because if that's another thing, another feather we can add to our hat, and something we can add in, that'd be a nice feature to do.
I'm just ticking off my questions on my sheet.
That's good. Website. Okay, cool. All right, excellent. So yes, agendas and minutes. I should probably go and get rid of that example meeting tomorrow before it confuses anyone.
Yeah, we've got people turning up at our local primary school.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. So that's how that works. Again, add new, upload your agenda, upload your minutes, choose your time, and you don't have to choose a time. That's the thing as well. There is a default time. The text is wrong there. Please enter a time for this meeting if different from the default time set in the agendas and minutes settings. Here, you click that link and you can have a look at the general settings, which is 7 p.m. So if it's different from 7 p.m, then you can put that in there. Now, our new version again of this is coming up very soon. It has a time picker. So you click in there, very similar to how this calendar box pops up. You have a time box pop up, and you can scroll through, so you don't have to go and type things in, which makes it a little bit easier.
Okay.
So that's agendas and minutes.